Hi, welcome back to Hitter Glitch Under the Hood. I'm Daniel,
I'm Scott.
I'm Alex.
I'm Tim.
coming at you again from Second Star Games in Prescott, Arizona. This week on
UTH.
No, leave that a mystery for you.
How do you build your own background?
Okay, the Player's Handbook has a section on this. And basically the short answer is, as you put it, 2 skills, tool proficiency
Or language.
and a feature.
Yeah, more in depth, you really want to kind of think about what this background is, why, you want some kind of flavor to the background so it's not overlapping with the ones already presented between the Player's Handbook, Sword Coast Adventurer's Guide, various DM Guild options if you use those.
Really, you don't have to use anything specific because, you can follow the template and just make it, fit whatever it is you're doing.
Right.
Or you could just choose one of these and modify it slightly.
Yeah, and you can even mix and match between a couple of these,
Yeah.
Take the feature from this one, but this proficiencies from this one. And I think Taliesin did that in the first campaign on Critical Role. He was a noble, but I think he mixed it with Sage for the researcher. He switched out the class feature from noble.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. One of the interesting things I find about it is the amount of money worth of stuff and also just money that you end up with. Like the noble ends up with like 25 gold right off the bat, as well as nice clothes and stuff.
And followers if you take the knight variant.
Yeah. Whereas like if you play was it Outlander? No, which was the one that only got 5? Was it Hermit? Hermit gets 5 gold and some clothes, common clothes. Well, you get the herbalism kit. I guess that's worth some money.
Scroll case.
A scroll case doesn't cost anything. It might cost 1 gold.
Yeah. Well, at the same time, do you really expect a hermit to have as much as a noble?
No, but I don't know. I just wonder if they try to balance that with the feature at all. Like, the hermit.
I don't think you do.
No.
I don't think you should.
I don't think they do. I don't think you necessarily should. But I think the hermit gives you a minimum and the noble gives you a maximum. And if you notice, most of the other backgrounds fall in between those two.
Yeah.
Most of them you're getting 10 or 15 gold. Some of them give you the tool that you're proficient with, or half the tools that you're proficient with.
Yeah, if you have 2 tool proficiencies, you don't get both of them.
Yeah,
you don't get both tools.
Of the equipment, yeah.
And if you get like land vehicles or sea vehicles, you don't get a land vehicle or sea vehicle.
That'd be a little ridiculous.
If it was like a what is the pack horse or whatever, pack mule or something like that, like those are within range to be a possible item you could get. So you could be like a not a landed knight, but like a newly christened knight, and you've got a slow
Could be Don Quixote.
Yeah. You got a Don Quixote horse.
And you could argue that, it takes a little bit of role playing, but the sailor gets ship's passage, so all you do is get yourself and your friends on the boat, and then you mutiny, and you get a water vehicle.
Now you have a ship.
If you're successful.
And a small crew to sail it with. If you do it right, you just take out the captain.
What?
And then you keep the crew. Now it's our crew.
Jack Sparrow did that with one other guy.
It's true enough.
It can be done.
Just saying.
Brilliant.
DMs out there, I'm sorry for what your players are about to do. I'm not really.
That would be a really fun way to just completely sidetrack the campaign and turn it into something completely different. It's like, yep.
Well, there's actually a Pathfinder adventure
You guys can't do that to my game.
set that's based on the beginning of the game. You drank too much the night before and you're press ganged. You wake up with none of your gear. You have to earn it back.
Nice.
And my character snuck into the captain's quarters while he was asleep and killed him.
Well, I had players in one of my games. I was running a political thriller game, and they decided, since one of them was proficient with cook's utensils, one of them was proficient with brewer's supplies, one of them, we're going to start a bar, and it's going to be our front.
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah,
So
It was successful.
it was very successful.
Well,
it was the most successful, like, random sidetrack that I've ever been in a role-playing game.
in that
Although that became the game, and then we
Yes.
ended.
We're done.
So it wasn't a political thriller anymore.
that pirate campaign, I killed the captain and framed the cook, left this stuff in the cook's, so he got forced to walk the plank. And then when the new guy took captain, I led the mutiny against him. Now, you are supposed to mutiny and take over the ship, but that's not supposed to happen to the second of 6 books, and I did it in the first third of the first book.
Oh my gosh.
So, Tim, I'm still sorry about that, kinda, but it was fun.
Yeah.
So yeah, backgrounds.
So the hardest thing probably for people to wrap their heads around is the feature.
Yes.
Choosing what skills you're gonna get is probably easy because
That's
Kind of-
probably why you're creating the new background, is because you want
Yeah.
this skill combination.
this skill / tool combination. And I would actually suggest that you look in Xanathar's section where they talk about how to use tool proficiencies in conjunction with skills
Yeah.
to help design what skill tools you're going to give a background. And also how you're going to take advantage of this this setup you have. But the feature is probably the one that's the most wishy-washy.
Yeah.
For DMs, I would say make the feature something that the player can use once or twice an arc. I think
Yeah.
that's about.
I know not all of them do, but I think most of them do, and I'm a big fan of make it to something that's based on role play.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't give you any combat advantage for sure.
No.
No, but I mean, like the Outlander doesn't really base it on role play. It's, we're taking a short rest. I find food for everybody. Okay.
Yeah.
But like the Far Traveler can use his exoticness to get in and see people he wouldn't normally get to see.
Yeah.
The
Noble can get you noble in their own way, and then folk hero in their own way can get you a place to stay,
right.
depending on where in the social strata you're
But
at.
especially like with the folk hero, you kind of have to go out and look for the person and ask them and role play that out.
Yeah.
I mean, you can do that with the Outlander, but it's just like, hey, you find food for everybody every day.
Fantastic.
So don't even worry about spending money on rations.
Yeah.
That's, I think, by far the most mechanically powerful class feature.
Probably.
Things like the Hermit have a lot of world building and sort of background
Mm-hmm.
play, just because they have the discovery feature.
Yeah.
So yeah, and that's probably where I would go with it. So when you're thinking of the feature, think of something that you could do once or twice an arc, like I said. because I don't think once every session is a bit much. I think, and that's part of the problem with Outlander.
It's
Yeah.
that it's
Is
constantly.
It's multiple times a session.
Yeah.
Oh, we're traveling for a week. Well, I just used my class feature 7 times.
Um,
Or if you're good at GM, you just say you use it once over that 7 period
Well-
of time. Then you just split up how much it gets you or what it's supposed to get you and split over those 7 days.
I mean, regardless, it's you're not even really going out and doing the feature. You're just like, I've got food for us.
so we were talking about horses and whatnot. So
Yes.
how about if you're a horse breeder
Okay.
or a dog breeder if you're halflings? Is a background feature that says you have a horse or can get a horse overpowered?
I think you would have to limit it to a riding horse because I think a war horse would be overpowered. But no,
Not really, no.
Like
because honestly, a horse is as much of a hindrance as it is a help.
yeah, especially every time you go dungeon crawling, you're like, crap.
I'm just gonna hitch my horse up outside and hope an owlbear doesn't eat it. All right, let's go.
Like a draft horse is 50, which is kind of the upper end of what you could have for money from your background. I mean, I guess technically, if you choose a lute as your musical instrument for the backgrounds to get that, that's 35 gold, and then if you're getting another 10 to 15, yeah. So maybe the
You can get a pony.
20?
Pony's only 30.
30, yeah, that would work. Donkey
But
or a mule,
that's
or,
if you're wanting to balance it. I mean, if all they're getting is a horse and saddle, they're not really, traveler's clothes. They're not getting any of the other stuff.
yeah.
Why not?
Or give them advantage when they're negotiating prices on a.
Well, yeah, I would give them.
Make that the feature.
Yeah.
I would make the feature something along the lines of understanding, like you can easily size up an animal.
You're a husbander.
Yeah, so you have advantage on rolls to check out somebody's mount. So it's like, oh yeah, you can sell buy these horses and
And
check them off
obviously,
and
this
check their
background
teeth.
is going to have animal handling as one of its 2 skill proficiencies.
Obviously.
And probably athletics.
Yeah, potentially. I mean, shoveling horse manure. There's no endurance skill anymore, so.
No, it's just a concept. And you don't
DC 10
and you
failure.
don't get proficiency.
Yeah.
No, it's like a forced march. Every hour you do it, the DC goes up 1. So it's 10 for the first hour. You're mucking out the stall.
You wouldn't really get history from that, although, no, not really. I mean, you'd know the history of like horses, maybe, especially if you're like an Arabian style, but that doesn't give you history of the world.
Insight.
Could give you insight. Could give you medicine. You're doing the
Yeah.
husbandry.
Medicine.
I could see that.
So animal handling and medicine.
It's actually not a bad skill combo.
Yeah.
What do you get? You get
Ground vehicles.
ground vehicles and
Maybe another language.
Leatherworking
Yeah,
for
Yeah.
saddle repair.
fair enough.
okay.
Fair enough.
Either that or blacksmithing, because you could be doing shoeing.
Shoes.
And
Your choice between smiths and leatherworking.
that sounds
Interesting.
fair. I'd play the class. Like, sounds interesting. Especially if you were, I mean, that's your way to go. I want to play the guy riding in with a lance and, shield. I want to try to break that, or not even to break
Well-
that. I just want to do that. I want to play a knight on horseback.
Yeah.
Now you can start with a horse rather than having to wait till, like, what is it, like 5th level paladin when you can summon warhorse?
Fine steed.
Fine steed.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you want to play the paladin on a horse, there you go. You can start with it.
Yeah.
And I don't think it would be too broken. I mean, like a pony is not going to be able to lift you if you get into plate armor. I don't believe.
Plate's only 65 pounds.
Plenty could probably carry that.
I don't know. I'd have to look up the stats somewhere.
Um,
Anyways,
so yeah. Hopefully that's given you guys some
ideas.
ideas and inspiration. Wasn't expecting creative background, but that's the way it went.
Okay.
Comment down below if you have any other further questions or want to expand on what we talked about. If you haven't, we'll put it in the Toma topics. And we'll
Also, comment if you have built your own background and let us know what it was.
yeah.
Yep.